Yeah, so welcome back to the channel, you guys. The other day I was watching a movie, because I've been on shutdown for a while, so I was sitting there trying to think about, I was wanting to watch a movie. So, yeah, I remember that's, yeah, here's the thing. I love YouTube, don't get me wrong. I know I mentioned a lot of times, but a lot of times I had to back off on listening to a lot of people reviewing movies because a lot of times I'd be so jacked up to watch the movie and then, I hear all their comments about it. So, anyway, so I was on Netflix the other day and they had this movie called The Invitation. And I kept sitting there on the couch, man. I was like, man, I heard that movie sucked. So I decided to watch it because, it's on Netflix, right? So uh, it wasn't that bad. But it got me to thinking. I was like, boy, this movie reminds me of something. I kept saying, I was like, what does that movie remind me of? Now, I didn't think it was that good, but I didn't think it was as bad as some of the YouTubers say because, I noticed with YouTube, I've been noticing every time I get on there, it's just overly saturated with people. I mean, it's just saturated. I mean, it's just horrible. I mean, people's on there, but it's cool. It's all good, but so I decided to watch it. And at first, I didn't think I'd like it, but it's about a girl. She lost her mom, and she's trying to find her parent, her extended family. So she does this little DNA test, and she finds out that she's related to these rich people over in Wales or something like that. So she ends up going over there, and they end up being a bunch of vampires or something like that. It was kind of funny, but more and more I watched this. Okay, this is not too bad. I liked how it, I liked how it was. She had to, she didn't know that she was going to be getting married to this guy because she liked the guy at first, but then she found out he wanted to marry her, and she was going to be his third wife to make it complete for whatever this family was trying to do. And so, anyway, that's how the plot of this movie was. And then, it just goes from there. And then she didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And then she was sitting there and she's like, because she's like, I didn't really sign up for all this. She was freaking out because they cut this woman's throat when they was getting ready to have dinner. And they was welcoming her in the family. And she was like all horrified. And then they took the woman's blood and they started drinking it and then passing around. And she didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And that's how the movie ends up being the way it is, and she's trying to get out of it. She don't want to have nothing to do with it. And they was telling her, you don't realize what you're giving up. You're going to be all powerful and you're going to live forever. And you're going to have the strength of, she's going to be super strong and all this kind of stuff. And the movie just goes her trying to get out of it and how she's killing everybody and she's going through this big mansion and everything like that. So anyway, I'm sitting there going like this, and boy, I'm sitting there saying to myself, man, this movie reminds me of something. I said, what does this movie remind me of? So it dawned on me. I was like, so The Invitation came out in 2020. And 48% liked. I liked this. Got a Rotten Tomato score of 27. And then your leads are Thomas Doherty and Natalie Emmanuel and Hugh Skinner. That's the best way I can pronounce their names. But I liked the movie. I did. I thought it was certain sections in there they could have not done with, but man, them three wives, man, them girls, that tall chick, man, I was like, damn, boy, that tall chick, man, was one of his wives. But my favorite one out of all three of them, the main girl, she was attractive, but that little blonde, man, she was hot. I thought she was hot. And I said, dang, dude, you marry all three of them girls, man. But it's some type of vampire thing, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm saying that all three of those women, I prefer that little blonde. But that tall chick she was tall and built, and wow. But the other girl that was the main girl, she was very attractive too. So anyway, I kept sitting there going, man, what does this movie remind me of? And I said to myself, ready or not, ready or not. And so I got on Vadu, or it's Fandango account, VUDU is how you pronounce it. So I decided to buy Ready or Not. I know you can watch it on other platforms, but I decided to buy it because I like to just be able to play something when I want to, right? So I got it, and it's a horror thriller, where The Invitation came out in 2022, and it's a horror mystery. Ready or Not is a horror thriller, and the Invitation was an hour and 44 minutes long. Now, Ready or Not was an hour and 35 minutes long. 83% like, and a Rotten Tomato score of 88. 88. Yeah. this is a woman, she's marrying the man of her dreams and all that, and he lives in this big mansion. He hasn't seen his family for a while, so he talks her into playing this game because they make all these games. That's how they got famous. But your leads are Samara Weaving and Adam Brody and Indy McDaniel and Mark O'Brien. That's the way I can pronounce his name. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just giving you the names. So, cause Samantha Weaving, she played in The Babysitter on Netflix. But anyway, she had to play this game, and she found out that they was going to chase her, and they have to kill her, but they can't kill her. They have to maim her. So I didn't think I liked this movie. It took 3 times for me to watch this movie to see why everybody, because this again, there's a lot of times these YouTubers, especially the big ones, man, they just seem like they lose their crap over movies that they say is just so good. Because I'm like, these guys are good, you know, their platform's good, they got good thumbnails and all that. Sometimes I watch their stuff, I'm like, I don't really think this movie is as good as I thought it was going to be. So I didn't think Ready or Not was that good. And it was, I think it was about 3 months ago, I sat down and watched it. And I was like, wow, this movie is good. And I really enjoyed it. And that's why I'm doing a video. I do these videos of remakes and comparisons and similarities. And this invitation is almost like they took Ready or Not and they made the invitation, but they tried to twist it into some type of different type of movie because there was so many similarities. But I just watched Ready or Not the other day, and I tell you, man, when that little boy walked up on her and she was trying to get away, and she crawled out of that thing where they was dumping all them dead bodies, and she came out there, and that boy shot her. I think that boy shot her, and then she looked at him and she punched him in the eye and knocked him out. And she goes, "You little fucker," you know, like that. I can see why people really enjoyed this movie, and I'm glad I bought it, and I'm glad. Sometimes you have to give movies, a lot of different times to watch over, and that's one of them, because there's a lot of times a lot of these big YouTubers and platforms that, they be glorifying some of these movies, and I just, man, I can't wait to watch that movie. And then when I do watch, I'm like, it's okay, but everything is subjective. I get that, but yeah, The Invitation, and Ready or Not. Ready or Not came out in 2019, and The Invitation came out in 2022. So, which one is better? Well, Ready or Not, of course. Oh my God, way better movie. Yeah, way better movie. But I have to admit, I did like The Invitation though. I did, but that Ready or Not, man, it's just good, and it's funny. So anyway, Happy New Year again. It's January 1st of 2023. You guys have a blessed 2020. I wish you guys just whatever your dreams, just, as long as it's good stuff, God bless. Take care. We'll catch you next video. We'll see you.